We are 1 week away from a critical step for one of Spokane's most notorious criminals. Will the man known as the South Hill Rapist walk free? Kevin Coe was accused of dozens of rapes in Spokane in the 70s and 80s. He served his time and was labeled a sexually violent predator. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Kirsten O'Connor.
And I'm Derek Dice. But the state of Washington says it can no longer prove Coe is dangerous, and he's expected to be released next week. After serving 25 years in prison, Coe has spent the last 17 years at the Special Commitment Center for Sexually Violent Predators on McNeil Island. A trial is scheduled for next Friday in Spokane to determine if he still meets the criteria. He's almost 80 years old now and in poor health, so the state has indicated it can't justify holding him there anymore. But at a pretrial hearing this morning, we learned the wheels of justice aren't exactly moving quickly. Melissa Luck was the only reporter in the courtroom and has this exclusive update.
We came to court this morning expecting a pretty benign pretrial hearing. We already know the state plans to dismiss its motion to hold Kevin Coe indefinitely. Instead, we watched the judge admonish attorneys on both sides for not having the paperwork submitted in order to make that happen.
I can't make you file a motion, but I need something so that I don't have to summons 105 jurors in. So I would have anticipated that the state of Washington would have done something before today's date.
Judge Julie McKay did not hide her frustration this morning with the Washington Attorney General's office. She's upset that even though the state has indicated it will drop its petition to hold Kevin Coe on McNeil Island, nothing has been done to move that forward. Coe is asking for his release, and a trial would debate that. But the state has said in court filings Coe is old and feeble and unlikely to reoffend, and the state can't meet its burden of proof to hold him any longer. Coe's attorneys already have a place for him to live at an adult care facility in Spanaway. But if things don't move forward on schedule, Coe could lose that spot. Also at issue, the voices of the victims. The state says 7 of Coe's victims want to be heard in court. Most, if not all of them, were heard in the civil commitment trial back in 2006. The judge says while she values their voices, there's nothing in state law that would allow them to be heard at a dismissal hearing when the judge has no choice but to release Coe.
So is there a reason why the state of Washington couldn't have just called a press conference?
For these victims?
Sure.
It's not sufficient enough.
For them to be on TV speaking to the state of Washington at large? That's not good enough?
They want an opportunity to speak, to have one last final say in front of a courtroom.
I would think that a press conference is much vaster, much wider, and way more impactful than in front of a judge who has zero choice, none, no discretion.
So here's where things stand. The judge told attorneys on both sides to get that paperwork submitted so she can determine whether or not she needs to summon those jurors. She is still taking under advisement whether or not she will allow victims to testify in person or if those written statements are all that will be allowed. At the courthouse, I'm Melissa Luck, 4 News Now.